Pete Buttigieg sure does exaggerate a lot. Hi, thanks for watching. Today is Friday, Factcheck Friday, and I've got a real quick one for you today. It is from the debate last night. Did you watch it? Probably not. It had the record low number of viewers. Of all the debates, nobody watched this one. It was 6 million, 4 million on CNN, 2 million on PBS. That's pathetic. Nobody cares about this election so far. At least no one's paying attention to the debates. But I watched it, and there were many things that jumped out at me. I could do fact checks on so many different things, but this one really bothered me, and it brought up a question as to why. Why would Pete Buttigieg say this? Why did he phrase it this way? So let's get to that. But first, I do want to say that since this is such a quick video, stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you my own personal drink recipe for impeachment cider. So hang along for that. But let's get to Mayor Pete. And in this video clip, he makes a claim, and let's see if you see what I see.
This economy is not working for most of us, for the middle class, and I know you're only ever supposed to say middle class and not poor in politics, but we've got to talk about poverty in this country. There is not one county in the United States of America where someone working full-time at the minimum wage can afford a two-bedroom apartment.
Wow, that is a very specific claim. And I wonder why he phrased it this way. He said that there's not a single county in the U.S. that you could find a two-bedroom apartment that you could afford working for minimum wage. Now, much of the country, the minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. That translates to about a little more than 15 grand a year. So, yeah, it's going to be really tough to afford a two-bedroom apartment on that kind of money. But why did he say not a single county in the U.S.? Because that's going to be pretty easy to disprove, right? I would think, and I wouldn't have a problem if he just said, you know, in most cities, you can't afford a two-bedroom apartment on minimum wage, because that's true. You could easily change his statement to be true. It would be so easy to do. But he doesn't do that. What he does is he tells you specifically, not a single county. Okay, let's fact check it, shall we? I think back to where I went to undergrad in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I was pretty cheap to live there. It's the only place I looked up. Let's go to Craigslist, Las Cruces. And what do we have? Two-bedroom, one-bath apartment for rent. It's on Idaho Avenue. I actually lived right near there in college. What do we got? $470 a month. Well, I think you could afford that on minimum wage. Here's another one, $475, two-bedroom, one-bath apartment for rent. That's a pretty good part of town. $475 for a two-bedroom. I think you could afford that on minimum wage. And even if you wanted to get a house here, we got $570. You get a two-bedroom, one-bath house. Family house, large oak trees, winter creek in the rear yard, all rooms freshly painted top to bottom. Family home is truly trendy neighborhood. Two-car garage with laundry hookups. Large wraparound rear yard. That sounds pretty nice. And I think you could afford that on minimum wage. Now, you wouldn't be able to afford a car payment, and there's lots of other things. I mean, I think it'd be really tough to get this and, pay for a kid and that. But that's not what Pete said. Pete said you could not afford a two-bedroom apartment in any county in the U.S. Well, that's just not true. But here's the thing. I agree with the general thing of what Pete is trying to say. He's trying to say, hey, it's hard to live on minimum wage, which I would agree. And it would be definitely hard to live on minimum wage with a single earner if you had kids and you're trying to support the kids and then have a car to get to work and all those kinds of things. That'd be really hard to do. But no, let's see what he said again.
There is not one county in the United States of America where someone working full-time at the minimum wage can afford a 2-bedroom apartment.
Why is he lying to us? Why is he lying to our face? I don't understand what the strategy is here, but maybe he just knows that nobody in the media will fact check him on this. Nobody will call him out for what is clearly not true. And this was the only place I looked. I just went to Las Cruces because that's a place that I know, and I knew it was pretty cheap. I haven't searched anywhere else in the U.S. It was the first place I looked. And on a side note, I found it really interesting that PBS, when they filmed Pete for some reason, they always had his head up right near the top of the screen. They didn't do that for anyone else. That was weird. It looks weird to have his head all the way up at the top of the screen. It's like they're trying to tell you that he's taller than he is, and we all know that he's not. But that's it. That's my fact check. Short and sweet, to the point. Pete said that no one in a single county in the U.S. could afford a 2-bedroom apartment. Not true. I rate that as false. So let me give you my drink for impeachment. And is this to celebrate impeachment? No, I'm not celebrating impeachment, but maybe you are, and you need a drink for it. Impeachment has taken place in December. It's winter. You don't want a drink that's cold. You want a nice warm drink. So how about a cider? That's why I have chosen as a base apple cider. You can just get a nice unfiltered organic apple cider, a cup of that. You pour that in. Now, this is the impeachment of Orange Man, so you definitely want to put in an ounce of orange curacao. And I like to put in an ounce of spiced rum, just because impeachment is spicy. Since it is impeachment, and we like puns, right? Throw in an ounce of peach schnapps. You can throw in a little mint leaves and some nutmeg, and I like to throw in a cinnamon stick just to top it all off. And that is my impeachment cider. It's something that you can use to either celebrate or, whatever. But we all need a good drink for these cold December nights. So you can thank me later. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this quick fact check about impeachment cider. And if you enjoyed this, please share the video with someone else. Peace.